direct mail works.
Oh, it does.
Branding works. When you look at a marketing dollar and you say, who do people buy from? They buy from who they know, like, and trust.
This week in the den, I got Dave Carroll from Dope Marketing. Nice to have you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Give everybody a quick background on you, where you come from, what you do. Tell everybody about Dope Marketing.
Yeah, so being a data guy, I'll give you guys like some Dave math is what my presentation coach gives me. So I'm 37, I got my 5th kid on the way. My parents were married together, mother and father like everyone else, but married 3 times each. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I like numbers, I like marketing, I like businesses. I'm one of those, I've been to a fault, like a real entrepreneur, visionary, scatterbrained. I don't count the beans. The day-to-day isn't my thing, and I've kind of learned that the hard way with some lumps. But I like the disciplined ideas.
Okay.
That's my part. Yeah.
So you're 25 years old when you started your power washing business. You
Yeah.
still have it today.
Yeah.
You put systems and processes in place where you don't have to be there. Can you talk about that and how you grew that?
Yeah, so I know, like, my thing was always, so I started that business right around the time when, like, Facebook was becoming big, but it was the, like, the boards, remember the messenger boards and stuff? So I'd look and I start this company and I'm like, how do I get off the truck? What do we do? And so I found this guy and he was talking about how to go get work from property managers. So what I would do is I would throw on a safety vest and I'd get the Voxer, the Nextel chirp, and I'd find like the gray clips in the strip mall. I'd go in and I'd set off the Nextel chirp. I go, Barry, hold on one sec. Excuse me, how do I get a hold of the property manager that manages this strip mall? Trying to get ahead of it or whatever, and just kind of see the things like, get around the guys that paid the dumb tax before. I like to work hard, but there's also that aspect of like, I don't want to figure out the stuff that's been figured out 100 times already. Like, Lance, I go to where there are people in this world that have been and will be more successful than anything you and I will ever do in our lives if we start something. And I try to look at that and say, like, just what can I take a piece of that from? So when the systems and the processes, look, I'm not a systems and a process guy, but I want to focus my time on doing what I want to. And so those foundational processes were very important. Those are the push-ups. I try to not say the word hate, but I strongly dislike doing push-ups. And so systems and processes, I just got sick of building them 4, 5, 6 times. And I'm like, where are the people that know how to do this better than I do? What's the 0 I got to add to that person to get them to do it right so I don't ever have to do it again? So finally, after 13 years in business, we put the real systems and processes in place about 7 years ago. And now I've been finally 7 years removed from that business completely.
So we just talked about House Call Pro and the pros and cons of House
Yeah,
Call Pro
for sure.
or Service Titan. I told you we were on House Call Pro, but we left to go to Service Titan with all my companies for multiple reasons. But I don't think power washing, I told you very transparently, probably not the best move to go for.
If I could do it again, it would be HVAC or roofing.
Well, you can do it. My buddy Josh Taylor, I just told you, Ecotech just bought a roofing company.
Yeah.
Just literally we were talking and he bought a roofing company. I mean, why not jump into it? You're young.
Minutes in a day, 1440. We got to eat, we got to sleep, we got to shit, right?
Well, take less sleep and take less shits.
My man.
Buy a roofing company. You're going to make more money than you're ever going to make in a power washing business. And that's just not being rude. It's
I appreciate it.
The multiplier now for roofing, so you know, is 10x.
It's software multipliers. It's crazy.
It's more than some softwares. So now that you got Dope Marketing, let's talk about that. That's your bread and butter now. You've grown that. You came into the marketplace about 3 years ago. You saw a niche, and you hit the ground running. I mean, you have probably, close to 1,000 different contracts, more than 1,000, just all using you for direct mail. You seem to have it down to a science. People don't realize, when I meet direct mail, people are like, oh, just pick zip codes, send it out. Just pick houses of high net worth. I know there has to be a science. Don't give me your secret sauce, but give me kind of...
How about a hint of the sauce?
Yeah, give me
test packet.
Yeah, test packet.
So you look at direct mail, and like for anyone watching this, we've sent direct mail sometime in our life, right? For our business. Someone's done it or we've tried it or whatever. What we try to look at, before there was an approach that you would call spray and pray. You spray all over town and you pray to Buddha, the Great Pumpkin, baby Jesus, whoever your thing is. And you pray that spraying brought in enough leads because you picked these zip codes that you hope there was enough that happened that brought something back. And unfortunately, that's just not the case anymore. I feel that success comes with the application of best practices. It's our job to keep up on what's current, because what happened yesterday, what got us here won't necessarily get us there. And so what I found with direct mail is like, there is these print shops, and they're full of these printers, and these printers are computers, and you can build software that talks to them, and let's make these things have a conversation.
Absolutely.
And so what I saw was like, there were too many people and processes involved in direct mail, so instead of looking at, I gotta spend $10,000 to send out this many thousand pieces to hope that this happens, let's focus on the dope. Let's focus on the data on previous engagement. What are you doing well in your business? Where are your jobs condensed? Is it fair to say that humans are predictable creatures?
I think so.
If we live in the same neighborhood, Lance, is it fair to say we probably have something in common?
Oh yeah.
Same age, maybe same age kids. Let's go to our house, the thing that we can afford, right? Is it the same amount of money built around the same year with the same materials?
Most likely the same income.
So if I'm a contractor in home service, doesn't matter, roofing, HVAC, solar, power washing, whatever, is it fair to say if my neighbors did something, I as their neighbor is more likely to do something than CJ across town?
Of course.
So let's focus on the neighbors. So what we did with Dope Marketing is we said, there are things going on in your business. Let's pay attention to the jobs you're getting done, and let's educate the neighbors on that. And like you told me about service time versus house call, let's not do it manually. Let's make it happen automatically.
Well, the nice part too is when you talk about that, most people don't realize the average lifespan of almost everything in your house is around 10 years. Realistically,
Bingo.
people don't understand that. It's your garbage disposal, your dishwasher, your hot water heater, your HVAC
Those
system.
big purchase items, right?
Yeah. So if yours is going, whose else is going? And that's what people. That's where I love the whole spray and pray thing. But I always say aim small, miss small. What movie? Come on,
My man.
Great movie.
Where?
Patriot. Come on, great movie. You know what I mean? And you aim small, you miss small, and that's really
I was gonna
what
say,
marketing's
Ricky
about.
Bobby.
Ricky Bobby. Now, I do know the movie. I never watched it, but you take a look at it, and I say this: all marketing is profiling.
Amen.
Whether it's digital marketing,
Amen.
whether it's direct mail, billboards, you're profiling your customers.
And that doesn't have to get a negative annotation. When you're profiling, what you're doing, you're profiling someone who's trying to help them, right? You fit the profile of someone that has a need.
I'm past the negative connotations words. I mean, if profiling becomes a bad word all of a sudden, then we got bigger problems, right?
Okay.
Like, it's really, what else is marketing then? If you're not profiling, who are you marketing to? So now that you grew this company, I'm sure you had growing pains in the beginning. Let's talk about that. Most people don't realize you're a young guy, you're an entrepreneur. You're making money, you're a millionaire, you're doing millions a year, and that's great. But there's a lot of pain that you have to go through to get to here. Can you talk about that, the issues and the mistakes you've made?
So a wise man once told me, aim small, miss small.
There you go.
The idea is like, in the book, The Go-Giver, I'm not Mr. Avid Reader, but when I see a gem, I try to pick it up. In the book, The Go-Giver, they talk about, Lance, how much can we make and what can we sell it for? And how much can you make goes to the level of problem you're solving. The guy who made the pet rock is probably making a little less than a brain surgeon, right? So now you go to how much can you make? So how much can you make? We have a price. What can we sell for? Where is it going? How many people can you help? And so when I looked at Dope Marketing and what we were doing with direct mail, I knew it was a big undertaking. And we still consider ourselves every bit of a startup. Throw the revenue, the numbers, the projections, throw all that out the window. When I understood or I looked at it, I try to not be, I'm dramatic enough as I am, but it's like the Blockbuster, Netflix, Uber, taxi cab. I'm not trying to go there. I don't need to try to sell it for $1 billion yet. But I'm trying to look at it like when you see the level of the problem and the lack of people focusing on it, I just saw that there was a different way to do this. Direct mail works. Branding works. When you look at a marketing dollar and you say, who do people buy from? They buy from who they know, like, and trust.
Of course.
So when you look at a marketing dollar in that 100 pennies, 75 of those things should be leading towards the awareness or engagement towards that conversation. Where does the conversion come from? The dating analogy? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
The idea is, if I can build myself, Harvard Business School did a study, 7 to 11 touches to get a consumer to remember a brand cold. And this is this day and age still.
Of course.
Now what's the value of a marketing touch? We both drove here today, right, in an Uber or in our Turo or whatever. What's the billboard outside? I don't know. I saw it for the first time. I didn't remember. We've been on Instagram or Facebook today?
Yeah.
What's the last ad you saw?
Believe it or not, a politic one.
Right,
But I see that
exactly. I
politic
talked
ad
about
on
that
Snap.
before.
I mean,
but the idea is now you go to the power of traditional and digital marketing and the necessary combination of the two. Because if I see your polo at the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
I see your wrap truck. I see your yard sign. I see your Facebook ad. I see your Google ad on my fantasy football. And now I'm like, man, this guy Lance, I trust him. What's he doing? Is he running for politics? Is he selling me HVAC? I don't know. But I see it. I understand it. I trust it. And as business owners, want instant results, right? Dude, I want it now. I'm trying to. And so when I'm leading towards that, the patience in raising the awareness and the engagement the work is done here. It's not here. That conversion is like, yeah, we all want it, but we want the pretty girl too. How much work are you gonna put in?
What's the biggest mistake you've ever made so far?
Thinking I could get there faster by myself,
Ain't
without
that
the
truth?
team.
You need good people. You need
Thinking
good people.
I need it every day, that I can do this better, that I'm the dude that can figure it out. And when you take a step back and actually get to true humility and say, what got me here won't get me there. Could we be guys that for the rest of our lives compare ourselves a couple $100,000 a year and do things exactly how we want to and be as stubborn as we want to all day? We're in a convention full of people that will have a great life living like that forever. Me, my calling, I had to take a step back and look at it like, if I really want to impact something, it's not me. I can do my job, but removing myself from the things. We can all say I don't want to do what I don't want to do during the day. Man, I want to get out of my own way. That's what I want to do.
What's the biggest win you've had so far?
Being able to afford to be in the right room. Working hard enough to actually, when you understand that life, this game we're playing, right? You want to say it's chess, this shit is checkers. Work hard and be able to pay for that person's cell phone number. Like, be able to be around. We all, what I found with success is we live in a world of cliches. More money, more problem. Keep your circle smaller. Be the dumbest person. Remember, you've heard these things your whole life.
The things I live by.
Straight up now, right? Right?
I don't hear them, I live by them.
So now when you look at, but remember a time in your life, whether it was, grew up, dad was around, not, whatever.
Yeah.
But the people that you took seriously, or the people that you took seriously, who they told you to take seriously, when you hear these things and you reflect on that moment, you got kids?
I got 4 sons.
So I got my 5th on the way. 2
Congratulations.
boys, 2 girls. We're waiting on this one to find out, but I'm going to name him Kobe because I don't miss, apparently. I missed my vasectomy appointment is when I missed. But like, what I was looking at is, you get to pick your path out, right? The win that I had was realizing that like, it was never competition. I can literally wake up earlier than you and go to sleep later. I'm just going to outwork you. But in that work, where can I delegate those minutes? I can delegate those minutes to be able to position myself to have a conversation like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I always tell people, man, your circle is who you're going to be. It's going to be what you become. Listen, give the last words to any contractor out there why they should do direct mail, because I believe in direct mail. Remember, aim small, miss small. We're not spraying and praying here. Tell them, Dave.
So there's a couple things in life that you're not in control of. We can't control gas prices. We can't control who Lance is going to vote for the election.
I don't vote.
We can't control, right? We can't, me either, but we can't control who wins the lottery. Rain, sleet, hail, snow. You know what's going to happen 6 days a week? The mail's coming. The mail is coming all the time, and you're in control of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The sun rises tomorrow, whether you like it or not.
Amen.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for being on.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.